post in Instagram, which was quite funny. It said there was a man sitting with an angry face, and in the post it was written, "I'm going to argue with anything and everything you tell me because I haven't done yoga for the last 3 days." Uh, so,
Yeah.
so that was like
Yes.
so true. I mean, sometimes, when I do yoga, I see that I'm much more calmer. My ability to focus is much better. And today, with, like
Definitely.
you said, so much of cognitive load that is going on for our nervous system. People want to even check
Yes.
phones when they're driving. They want to,
Yeah.
uh, sometimes for the kids, if you want them to sit at one place and eat, you need to show them YouTube or
Show
YouTube
them
videos. I
YouTube
mean,
videos. Yes.
forget about kids. Let's talk about the grown-ups who are so addicted to the phones.
Yeah.
And what is happening today
Yes.
is we need so much of excitement, only then we feel alive. So, what is happening is if I don't get that
Yes.
excitement, I'm going to be bored. And if I'm getting bored, I will start getting into depressive mode. And I was
Yes.
reading the hormone that is responsible for excitement and anxiety are the same. So
Mm.
sometimes if they don't get
Yep.
excited, anxiety is another way to reach
It's
that
going in
need,
the other
meet that
way.
need.
Yes.
So I think
Yeah.
this aspect of yoga, in one hand, it helps to calm down your overstimulated nervous system. I think
Yes.
that's why they also call nervous system. Don't let your nervous system get nervous, because that's why yoga helps to bulletproof yourself from this nervous part.
Yes.
So I think what you nailed here is it's not just about doing some stretchings or asana practice. It is about being in this moment and trying to put your mind and heart to every possible experiences. And when we are
Exactly.
entering there,
Yeah.
we don't need that extra stimulus to feel alive. Every moment is an
No.
opportunity to connect with your deeper self. I think that's what people are
Yes.
missing when it comes to entering yoga. And I remember,
Exactly.
and I was remembering one yoga teacher was saying, some people come to yoga for fashion. Some people come to yoga because of passion. But both ways, it is good. Ultimately, they will get into spiritual mode, because that's what yoga will. So start somewhere.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, starting, I mean, honestly, I really, if people come to me and say, I want to practice yoga because everybody is doing it and all that,
Mhm,
I tell them, you know what, it's very good because at
mhm,
least you've taken the decision to join in. But now that you're joining in, it's my duty to also let you know that yoga has a lot more,
mhm,
So, and whatever path you choose, it could be, whatever the way you would want to approach yoga is perfectly fine.
mhm,
But once you get started on your journey, it is important to experience it completely and
mhm,
not be averse to it. So that is one thing I let people know, that it's fine you want to enroll into yoga for weight loss, and I'm 100% sure if you are practicing yoga the way you should be practicing yoga, you will lose weight and you will look fabulous. You will
mhm,
glow and you'll have zero diseases in your body.
mhm,
But if you understand yoga as a practice, not physically doing this for you, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually doing this for you, that's when you will actually see the results
mhm, mhm.
of what you are trying to get at here. So I'm very open to people who are, who want to join yoga for several different reasons. But at the end of it, when they begin classes with me, we touch upon so many things in our sessions. And
Mhm.
it's also interesting to see people when they get into yoga initially, they start telling me that, I'm not able to do this and I'm not able to do that. Of course, with therapy, we are obviously open to people saying that, that I have certain limitations, my lower back, I have
Mhm.
to compress discs, so I'm not going to be able to bend forward and everything, which is everything that we take into consideration. I prepare a session, I avoid all of those asanas. But there is something so magical about this practice of yoga that within a matter of about 6 to 7 months, I see such great transformation in their bodies that after a point, they are actually able to practice all the asanas that are not supposed to be practiced by their physical condition. And this
Mhm.
happens very organically. I'm not doing anything, they're just
Mhm.
practicing. And if they, of course, this is if they're consistent with their classes, if they're consistent with their home practices, if they're also making other lifestyle changes in terms of a better posture while they're sitting and working, constantly getting up in between, making sure they're moving their bodies and
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
just sitting in one place for the whole day. changing their diet to a more cleaner, lighter diet, better sleep. So if they're making these changes in a matter of about 6 months to maybe give it a year, I see a complete transformation. They're able to do all these deep forward bends, they're able to twist, and they you can literally see the health in their bodies and their spines. And I bring it to their notice that, do you remember when you began classes with me, you were not able to do any of this, but do you see yourself being able to? And sometimes they of course give me that feedback themselves. And I think that is what I experience with a lot of women, especially who join in their sessions with certain issues that they face, whether it's something to do with maybe insomnia, or just general weight gain, or thyroid, or PCOD, and all of these lifestyle related issues. When they begin their sessions, they of course have a lot of limitations, but as they go forward with their practice and make these changes in their lifestyle, they are completely their bodies, they feel very different by the end of the year of practicing that way. And they tell me themselves that there is, I feel like I'm able to do all of these movements, I've got so much more energy in me, I'm feeling so much more better about myself. Because when they're able to do a certain asana, then that, the whole psychological confidence that comes in, I'm able to practice this, I've gained so much strength, and all of this happens automatically to them. So there is something so powerful about these practices, and they're very simple. If you look at the practice sheets, there is nothing complicated that we do. We just get them to focus on their breath, on their movements at a more deeper level, connect with themselves at a more deeper level. And whatever movement that they're doing, they're really completely focused right there without thinking about anything else. And that's it. That does the magic on its own.
And then consistency will show the result over the long time.
Absolute consistency with everything shows results. That is something that people are struggling with. There are people who are intrinsically quite consistent and want to make that change and everything, but people are struggling with this aspect as well. As far as possible, I try to encourage people to come up with some ways to keep them motivated. Choose maybe a certain time of the day where you can practice every day. Choose a place that you feel very comfortable in. Maybe play some very light mantras in the background if you feel like music can help drone out whatever sounds around you, or with, from your chattering from your family members and everything. But consistency is something that
Really helps.
of course you need to have some amount of consistency to achieve this. But if you do, then there is a magical transformation that happens in just a matter of a few months of these simple movements.
I so relate to what you're saying, because the first time, once I had a guest in Sitaram, and they were saying, what is yoga? Maybe I can try it. And she had a huge belly and she was suffering with some hormonal problems. And then, okay, along with Panchakarma, she was also doing the yoga treatments. Next year she comes and she tells me, you know what, doctor, the best thing I can do, I can do the forward bend and touch my toes. She was talking about it like she won some Nobel Prize for that. But the kind of self-esteem and the self-confidence that they have, because they never thought this is something that is possible for them. And when they see that they get a reference point, now I can change things in my body. It's not that I'm stuck and I'm for the rest of the life I'm going to be having this hormonal disorders and things like that.
And it is important. Yes,
Exactly.
it is important, because when you see that there is a progress happening, you're motivated. It's human nature. I can of course speak to them about, it's okay, you're starting somewhere here. That is not the goal anyway of your yoga practice. We are focusing on all of these aspects. That is one side of my explanation and the way I motivate them. But when they see themselves being able to, because their breathing has improved, they're able to achieve a deeper back bend, they're able to twist better because they're able to exhale out a lot longer, and they're able to achieve those postures, they feel that sense of motivation. And it is important, though I don't make that as a primary focus, but they're like little joys that, okay, I can see that there is a change that has happened here, and that is going to keep me motivated to move forward. It is important, definitely.
Yeah, I can personally tell you, one of the best things that can happen to a stiff person is when they become flexible and they see that, oh my God, I can't believe I could twist my body to this
Capable of
extent.
doing these
Exactly.
movements. Yes, yes,
On
yeah.
the other hand, that will also boost their ego, which is anti-yogic. But at the same time, it's a good way of
That
seeing
is
I
what
can
happens.
progress.
That's the part of the journey. But as a teacher, that's when you have to remind somebody that, this is
Exactly.
great what you have achieved, but our goal here is
Hmm.
we want you to be able to meditate and really truly connect with yourself,
Hmm.
because beyond your physical body, this is your reality that we're looking at, right?
Hmm.
Because whatever your belief system may be, that one thing remains the same, that there is something beyond your physical existence, and we are
Hmm.
all trying to understand that. We understand it in different ways, but can we bring in our attention back to that so that we don't lose ourselves in this? Can we try and
Hmm.
go back to that source again, whatever it may mean for you, and connect there? And if yoga is helping you do that, then can we make that a consistent practice
Hmm.
in our lives so that we can go back to that source and replenish, and then get back into the world? So it's that balance. Basically, it's yoga is about that balance, finding
Exactly.
balance, trying to sustain balance. It's just about that, whether it's a physical balance literally with your practice, or emotional balance, or mental balance, or even the spiritual balance. You're
Hmm.
not you're spiritually grounding yourself, but you're also existing in the material world. It's that basically is your purpose, to be able to find that balance in all
Hmm.
levels.
Fantastic. So, Prerna,
Yeah.
if somebody, they have never tried yoga, they've heard about yoga, they see that people are getting into yoga, but I don't know where to start. So, what would be your recommendation for someone who is a complete beginner? What is one of the best ways so that, the first class, first teacher, the first experience is so important because that will help them decide to get more and more into it. So, what would be a
Yes.
nice beginning for them? How would you recommend that?
So yeah, I mean, definitely. So I would actually suggest that the person decides whether they want to have a personal experience. Do they,
Hmm.
if they want something more personalized to their needs,
Hmm.
or if they're okay with the group dynamics, which is also
Hmm.
fine. A lot of
Hmm.
people want to go into a group. They want the group energy. They want to, socialize or whatever. There are a
Hmm.
lot of other aspects. So I think choosing that itself at the start will be a good place to begin,
Hmm.
because I've had some clients, the very first thing they've told me is that, I joined this group class, but I realized that was not at all what I wanted,
Hmm.
because I'm not getting that attention that I need. Some people need that attention, and that is perfectly fine. Being able to identify that, okay, I'm a complete beginner. Probably I have some injuries in my body from the past, some work, some exercise movement that has gone wrong, or generally I'm just stiff. I've just not exercised at all. Do I want personal attention? Do I want somebody to really look at uh, what I can do and take me through it step by step? Or do I
Hmm.
want to enter a group and I want that energy of the group? So deciding that will be important at the start.
Hmm.
And once you join in your group session, I would recommend people to take it easy. There
Hmm.
is always there is a limit to how much your body can experience, especially if you're doing something after a long time,
Hmm.
or you have never practiced it before. Taking your body through steps is very important. We call that kramas.
Hmm. Hmm.
There should be a step by step process happening at all times, not
Hmm.
jumping into anything, because that is another thing I have seen as a very common occurrence in group sessions, where they jump into, say, an intermediate level of yoga, and they try to do all of those exercises and they injure themselves. And
Hmm.
then sometimes at a certain age, when you have injuries, it can take a lot longer for you to
Recover.
uh,
Hmm.
recover from it or build strength from it. So giving your body time to very slowly settle in, whether you're in a group or when you're doing it privately, because I
Hmm.
emphasize on that right at the start. I let my clients know, see, we're going to go step by step. We're not, don't be in a hurry. I know you want to immediately get started and you want to see results. Nothing
Hmm.
works like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
We will go step by step. We will do these different movements. We will try to connect you to your body, build that basic connection to what you're doing, what you're experiencing. I want you to even tell me where all you felt pain,
Hmm.
soreness in your body. You should also be able to understand that. So these things, I think giving your body time to settle into a new form of exercise is very important, mentally, physically, emotionally, giving yourself that time to ease into that form of exercise. And then finally, I would say choosing a certain practice that goes with your need. Like, what I mean by that is, if you are looking at something more, like if you feel like you're a person who requires yoga to be a practice to really calm you down, to help you slow down your thoughts, to relax you a little bit, because you're maybe going through a lot of anxiety with your work, you're generally feeling there's a lot of restlessness in your body, or you just want to settle yourself down, then choosing a yoga practice that is more restorative, more, flow based, where you're really in connecting with your movements at a slower level, and you're feeling just generally calm and relaxed by the end of your practice. Whereas a person who is maybe on the lethargic side and needs that movement, needs to be pushed, needs a little bit of rajas, because they are in the more tamasic, lethargic state, whether their bodies or their minds are like that, they need that push. But again, your body is also going through changes, so you might feel like that at some point, maybe after 2 or 3 days it might be different. So being able to communicate that with your teacher. Today, like as teachers, we check in when we begin the class. How are you feeling today? What is your state of mind? Are there any aches and pains in the body that I should be knowing about? And that is your opportunity to communicate, because it's important to have that conversation, whether you're what is your energies for today. And of course, as a one-to-one teacher, I'm able to immediately incorporate something that will work for my client. So if I have a female client saying that I'm on my menstrual cycle today for your practice, I cannot make her practice so many exercises that she shouldn't be doing during her period cycle. So I'm able to make that change. So if you can communicate that with your teacher, and you can find yourself a practice that will work for you for that day. I think these are the three things that are very important. Choosing the right setup, group versus personal, giving your body time to settle into anything without over pushing or getting overly enthusiastic about those movements and trying to really push yourself. And finally, understanding what is the sort of practice you're looking. I mean, you don't have to decide that. You can communicate that with your teacher and have your teacher design a class for you that is perfectly suited to your needs and requirements.
Fantastic. I think it can start well once you just have a good intention. I would like to have a good start with the yoga. And then the right teacher will appear, the right sequence will appear, and then you can get advanced, and then this will become a part of your life. Some people then get into yoga teachers training, and then it's just a new beginning of life. So Prerna, how can people reach out to you? What is the best way to people reaching out to you so that they can also access your content and your yoga classes?
Yeah, so I'm available right now quite actively on Instagram. That's where I have a lot of videos of my own personal practices that have been, that I normally do. So that is it. That's a good way to reach out to me. And through Instagram, there is a form. There is a basic form just to connect with me. So people can just type in their message, what exactly are they looking for? Are they, what sort of practice are they looking for? If they're looking for a personal practice versus group practice, whatever it is, just questions about yoga can be filled into that form, and that reaches me directly. So as of now, that is my means of communicating. I do have a website, which is a work in progress, which is usually what I send people when they want to know a little bit more about therapy practice itself, because I have done a decent job with explaining what therapy yoga does and the different techniques and the way we kind of personalize classes and all of that. So all of those details are in the website for people who want to just understand better. But I'm still at a stage where I'm personally connecting with people and communicating all of this that I have shared with you today on a consultation call with people on the phone, so that I can really understand and guide them. Because at many times people who talk to me on the phone, explain a lot more than they can when they type out a form or anything to
Exactly.
me.
That's so
So
true.
that
Yeah.
gives me better clarity as a teacher. Okay, maybe this is not the style that you're looking for. Probably you should be, I can
Mhm.
connect you with another teacher that I know who can help you out with this. So as of now, that is still the way I get in
Look
touch with
into it.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fantastic, Prerna. It was really wonderful to have this conversation, and thank you so much for sharing all the
yes,
wisdom that you
likewise.
learned. And I wish you the very best. And I will put in all your content in the show notes so people can reach out to you if they also want to have
Sure,
some personal sessions. So thank you once
sure.
again.
Thank you so much.